It can get lonely climbing Mount McKinley, so to entertain myself, I go to ChumbaCasino.com. At Chumba Casino, I can play hundreds of online casino-style games for free, like online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Plus, I get a daily login bonus. It's just too bad that up here, I don't have anyone to share my excitement with. Woohoo!
Live the Chumba life. Anytime, anywhere. Play for free now at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Hello, I'm Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. TAS. Welcome to this edition of Talk with TAS. Today we will have Kate Thurman joining us. Kate is a visionary leader. She is an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. She's the type of person that has an idea and then she makes it a reality. How are you, Kate?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am doing well. So I guess, Kate, I wanna kick us off by asking this question. Can you share a pivotal moment in your life when your faith helped you to turn a significant challenge into an opportunity for growth for you or maybe for others?
I think I shared this with you. I'll talk about one of the things. It's been several instances, but one of the things was having a house fire. I went to work. Only two people was out of the house. That was my daughter, Lakeithia, and myself. I went to work. I drove an hour and 15 minutes to get to work. And I got a call at 11. I had been to work maybe 3 hours and said, your house is on fire. And I remember saying, who house? Your house. And I had to drive. And mind you, it was traffic coming back. So I had to drive. With the traffic, it took me an hour and 40 minutes to get home. In that traffic, thinking about what could be or what I was going to see when I got home. By the time I got in my subdivision, I saw the fire trucks, I saw the police, and it's like I saw them, but I didn't see them. And I was praying the whole while, knowing God had my family, God, they were going to be okay. Well, I get home, they had taken the box off the wall, the power box. There was no water. Red Cross gave us $1,500 and sent us on our way and told us that all of the breathing machines, because a lot of us have asthma, wasn't going to work. We had to replace the breathing machine in order to breathe. Our dog died. It was a lot, but I thank God for that experience, because having that experience and living in a hotel for 2 months, not having anyone to give us anything, we drained our 401k, and we had no help from no one. And that moment, and knowing that, and the whole time knowing that God had me, God kept me, God kept my family. They were safe, they were sound. My son has very complex asthma, very, very complex asthma. So, he's in and out of the hospital a lot. Just knowing that it was God that kept us. And from that experience, when we got ready to start Angelically-Blessed, I remember telling someone today, actually it was today, I was talking with someone, and I told them, I know how it feels. This is why we do what we do. I was there. We didn't just wake up and say we want to start a nonprofit. Both Chris and I are givers and we just love to give. But going through that, and that was the moment in my life where I knew once again, because it wasn't the only moment when I knew God had me. That was once again. And that's why we started Angelically-Blessed. That was one of the pivotal moments in my life, that experience.
What piece of advice would you give from your faith journey that could instantly transform someone's life? And by that, I mean, we know it doesn't happen like that, but when we change the mindset, that then leads them on the path to that transformation. So, what piece of advice from your faith journey would you give to someone that would help them change their trajectory?
You know, Dr. Taz, I actually love that question because I used to say to myself that when I let things and I let my mind wander and I let my mind take me to those dark places of doubt and fear, I was abusing myself. And I would tell a person, don't abuse yourself. Trust God.
Mm-hmm.
I always say trust God. But you never know what's gonna happen in the midnight hour, is what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait till the midnight hour. You know, and I think I told someone this just 2 days ago. I was put my Faith Safe Haven Women's Ministry hat on, and I said those exact things. I said, you know, when you stop abusing yourself, and it's not physical,
Mm-mm.
it's mental.
Mental.
It's like you just said, you change your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You change how you think, how you feel, how you act. And when you say you trust God, go to sleep and wake back up. Because he's gonna do it. Watch him, won't he do it? Watch and
Mm-hmm.
see him do it.
He
I
will.
advise people all the time.
Stop abusing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that's the mission I'm on now, because that's another way of saying respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I am constantly pouring negative talk into my brain, which
Absolutely.
means it is in my brain that's coming out, that's going into my heart,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what's going to manifest, because
Yeah.
that's what I'm all about, is this negativity. And like you said, stop or don't abuse yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in God.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a hard thing to do. What would be a piece of advice that you would give to someone else who's wanting to start a business? And some of my folks say, just get off the bench. But
Mm-hmm.
what piece of advice would you give them? Because I think I know my purpose, and it may be my purpose, but I can't get started.
Mm.
What piece of advice would you give them as a servant driven, purpose driven leader?
So before I started a nonprofit, for 20 years, I love kids. You know, I ran my own daycare.
Mm-hmm.
And I led with that because what I did there is I stepped out on faith. I
Mm-hmm.
had nothing, no money, no nothing. I just told people this, and I'm getting ready to start my daycare. They said they loved me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I did a good job when I worked. I would go to work, and so I did. I stepped out on faith. So that'll be the first thing. And with Angelically-Blessed and Faith Safe Haven with the nonprofits, a little bit different. God placed those in my belly, just like it was God that did that. So my advice would be, first, step out on faith. You know, I'm always gonna say pray about it. That's the second thing I would say. And then I would say know your purpose. Or like for me, in this last year, figuring out what my purpose is, because I became a licensed mortgage loan originator in all 50 states over a year ago. And I didn't like it. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
God, I know that's not what you got for me. I said that to myself. I say this on every interview I go on. And I started praying. I started talking to Chris. So I would advise people to do just that. Talk to God and ask him what it is he wants you to do. Because even when he gave us this nonprofit, and I think I told you this too, I got it. We started it, and I know that, you know, it's my passion, it's my purpose to give back. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm walking in my true divine purpose. But it was a time, I think it was a few months ago, I had to go back to the drawing board, which is God, and I had to pray. Because sometimes you got to remember God is going to bring you back,
Mm-hmm.
right back there, because you start trailing off. and you start doing what you want to do. But you got to stay on the path that God has for you. And so I gave this nonprofit right back to God, because it was Him that started. It was Him that put this in me to do, and put this in Chris to do. And when I gave him back, I started praying for the people, because originally, you know the story, and I told you, I started praying for the people, the people that's supposed to be here, right now, at this time. So I would advise people to always pray. I'm always going to say, pray, step out on faith, trust God. But my main piece of advice is ask God what your purpose is.
How did you let go of that other stuff that was preventing you, as I think about Job, from hearing what God was trying to tell you, so that you could continue on the path that He had laid out for you? How did you let that noise go so that you could hear it?
Initially, you are right, and I'm glad Cyrus asked that question, because initially I started to backtrack. I said pray, right? And I said, go back to the drawing board. But so what helped me get through that, and what helped me just block that out, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I went walking, and I was thinking, Chris is supportive. So, I have the support from Chris. I have the support from my mom. I have the support from my kids, and I have a little bit more support from family now. So that is one thing that does help, especially having that support from Chris. When your significant other supports you the way that, Chris supports me, oh wow, it makes you feel good. So what happened was, to block out all of this, when you get the cloudy mind.
Yes.
I think I sat in this very seat, and tears was just rolling down my face. I don't know if I just got finished doing an interview, and I ended up going for a walk. And I ended up thinking and analyzing all of the things that had been happening, the good and the bad. And, you got this side, and then you got this side, and you're going back and forth. You're just pulling. And I said, devil, you was a lie. You are a lie. I came and I wrote down everything that was positive, everything that was not positive. And I said, first I said, God, remove the people out of my life that is not supposed to be here, because everybody can't go with you.
Come on now.
He did that. When he did that, I started writing the stuff down. I started analyzing. I went down for like 2 weeks and checking off. I was just checking off. Like, you got to go. Devil, you a lie. You got to go. This thought got to go. All while praying. But then I got a call from someone. And I talked to someone like 4 o'clock in the morning. Her name is Teresa.
Oh, okay.
And we talked. You remember we talked at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And I started telling you some stuff. And, Cyrus, what helped me was knowing that God sent someone, because He sends people. What I asked for, I got. And that helped me. And I went right back to, I'm going to go right back to God. Because when I checked it off, I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I had to figure out what I was going to do with that. I was like, okay, God, I did this. What, now what? It was, for me, at first, it was like, now what? Well, okay, I did that. Now what? Now what? And I figured out what the now what was. When we sat down and we were able to say, okay, and I was reassured that I am doing good things. I am a positive person. Because sometimes you can get inside your head and you can start tearing yourself down. And I went back down there, because I'm human. I backslid a little bit.
Yes.
And that's how I got through. God sent me people to help me and remind me that He's there. He'd heard me, and I was on the right path.
Are there particular practices that have been, very impactful for you? I think in the Papios article, you may have mentioned prayer, meditation, but are there practices that you I look at it sometimes as a cocoon, where we insulate ourselves so that we continue to let go of the stuff that we've had with us before, or the stuff in our mind that is paralyzing us? Are there practices that you use, Kate, regularly to help you to sustain yourself?
Well, one thing that I do outside of my walking and meditation, because when I walk, that's my meditation time, my prayer time. I do listen to the music, I do read, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's conversations with positive meaning. If I call you, or I'm talking to Cyrus, or I'm talking to Stacy, if you, or if I'm talking to Chris, and being able to brainstorm in that conversation, and we could be talking about something totally different than what I'm going through in
Mm-hmm.
my business or in my head. We could talk about anything, but that sometimes that brings me back,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes sense. It brings me back outside of my prayer, outside of my meditation. Sometimes just let my hair down, and even going shopping. I used to use
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this. I know it's a little cliche, but my shopping
Yes.
it helps me. But mainly, um, just having I enjoy more now my reading outside of my meditation. But it's a different when we have different type of conversation. See, I like to have fun. I like to laugh. Laughter helps me.
Yes.
And I believe if we can laugh through it, it takes me from where I was, but a lot of times it puts me on a whole nother scale by the time I'm finished with that conversation. And then I'm up, I'm writing, I got ideas, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm just excited. And so for me, it's just as simple as just letting my hair down and relaxing. Because I don't get to relax a lot. I wear many hats. So if I can do something as simple as relax, meditate, read my books, prayer, my walking, I absolutely love my walking. You
Okay.
see me blinking, that's how much I love it.
Okay. I need to be walking when you walking, Kate.
Mhm.
Talk to us a little bit more about the mission of Angelically Blessed, some of the work that you're doing, and how other people can help support the work that you guys are doing.
Okay, so our mission is to help families in need. We want to be a beacon of hope for families facing homelessness and whatever that means, whatever that looks like. We don't put it in a box. So if you need to pay your power bill, you have to make a choice. Whatever it is, if you need a room for the night, it doesn't matter. If you need food, clothes, that's our mission. That's our vision for Angelically Blessed, to be a beacon of hope, to be salvation for those in need. And you can give back to us or donate to us at angelically-blessed.com, or you can email us at angelically-blessed0811 at gmail.com. You can contact us at 770-765-6641. If you want to reach us on social media, it's Angelically Blessed, or you can reach Chris Thurman or Kate Thurman, whatever area you choose to reach out, we will reach back out to you and contact you back. I would say, like you just said, you never know when or if it will be you. So all things considered, don't hold back. If it's on your heart to give, give. And I'm glad that I've always been a giver. Even though when my house burned, we didn't get much from everybody else, but we had what we needed because God provided, from us being able to go to our 401k, and we still had jobs. We didn't miss a meal. We didn't miss a beat. We had lights, water, even if it was in a hotel. So all things considered, think about that, and let's help families in need, especially this holiday season.
And Kate, um, it's just interesting that it just reminded me right before we came on, there was a house that exploded today. And I saw it on the news right before we came on. And the newscaster, somebody was saying that the gentleman, the husband, had grown up in that house. And it
Mhm.
was hard for the people in the neighborhood to wrap their brains around what happened. And the mother and I think the daughter, they got out okay. So they just don't know what occurred with this house. But here we are at the holidays time. We're in the winter, we're going into our winter months. And but by the grace of God, it could be any of us. So I say, no matter how small, sometimes people think, oh, I don't have X number of dollars. I can't give anything. Every dime, every dollar, every $5, every $15, it makes a difference. So no matter what you have, if it's on your heart, as Kate said, to give, please give, so that we can continue to be a blessing to others. And Kate, on that note, you're going to have to come back.
I
But
will.
thank you so much for being with me on Talk with TAS. And until next time, guys, remember, before you take care of anyone else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.
Bye.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
All right, we're all set for the party. I've trimmed the tree, hung the mistletoe, and paired all those weird-shaped knives and forks with the appropriate cheeses. And I plugged in the Bartesian.
Bartesian?
It's a home cocktail maker that makes over 60 premium cocktails, plus a whole lot of seasonal favorites, too. I just got it for $50 off. So, how about a Cosmopolitan or a mistletoe margarita?
I'm thirsty.
Watch. I just pop in a capsule, choose my strength, and...
Wow, it's beginning to feel more seasonal in here already.
If your holiday party doesn't have a bartender, then you become the bartender. Unless you've got a Bartesian, because Bartesian crafts every cocktail perfectly in as little as 30 seconds. And I just got it for $50 off.
'Tis the season to be jollier.
Add some holiday flavor to every celebration with the sleek, sophisticated home cocktail maker, Bartesian. Get $50 off any cocktail maker at bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.